Google has been hiding something, and it just leaked. This is not another chatbot. This is not Copilot or Cursor or any of those tools. This thing does not wait for you to tell it what to do. It chases goals on its own. Hey there. So if you're new here, I'm Manny's AI avatar. While the real Manny is busy helping businesses with AI systems and automation, I'm here dropping the latest AI hacks, tools, and money-making strategies, so make sure you comment below. And hey, if you're serious about landing AI subscription-based customers, grab the AI Syndicate protocol I'm currently offering. The link's in the description. All right, now let's get into it. Okay, so here's what happened. Google has been quietly building the next version of its AI coding agent called Jules, and someone leaked the internal details. The codename is Jitro, and the tech community went a little bit crazy when they found out why. Because this is not a small update, this is a completely different way of thinking about AI. Right now, almost every AI tool on the market works the same way. You go in, you type a prompt, you get an answer, and then you type another prompt. Repeat that 100 times a day. That is basically just a fancier Google search. Jitro changes that completely. So let me break it down in plain language because this applies to way more than just developers. To understand why Jitro is such a big deal, you need to know what Jules is first. Jules is Google's autonomous coding agent. It launched in public beta last year and it was already pretty impressive. You connect it to a code project, you give it a task, and it goes and handles the work in the background while you do other things. It can fix bugs, write tests, and even submit changes for review on its own. During its beta phase, Jules helped developers create over 140,000 code improvements that were shared publicly. That is not a small number, and people who tested Jules said working with it felt like instructing a smart junior team member. But here is the important part. Jules still needed you to prompt it every single task. You were still the one in charge of every individual decision. Jitro asked the question, what if you didn't have to be? This is where it gets really interesting. Jitro is being called Jules v2, but the whole philosophy is different. Instead of you telling it what to do, you tell it what outcome you want. You give it a goal. Maybe that goal is reduce errors by 20%. Maybe it is make this website load faster. Maybe it is get more people to click the sign up button. And then Jitro figures out the plan. It maps out what needs to change, how to change it, and it tracks whether it is actually working. It runs in the background. Jitro is designed to be a persistent collaborator rather than a one-shot tool. There is an actual workspace where you set your goals, track insights, and connect it to other tools instead of telling the agent what to do. That is like the difference between hiring someone and giving them a list of every tiny step to complete versus hiring someone, handing them the end goal, and letting them go figure it out. One of those scales. One of those doesn't.
Okay, here's something I want to talk about that most videos skip over. The biggest mistake people make with AI right now is treating it like a calculator. You punch in a question, you get an answer, you move on.
Then you do it again and again. That is not a system. That is just being reactive. And a lot of people who say AI is not working for them, that is exactly what they are doing. The people who are actually building real income with AI are not doing that. They are building systems that chase outcomes automatically. They set up workflows where AI handles entire jobs, not just individual questions. Jitro is basically Google standing up and saying, this is the right way to use this technology. KPI-driven automation, where the AI manages high-level goals rather than individual steps. And that principle applies to way more than just code. This is where it gets exciting, because this is not just for developers. Think about it. Businesses pay people to manage social media, write emails, run ads, improve websites. Every one of those is a goal-driven job, not a list of tasks. If you build a service around a measurable result, more leads, better conversions, higher engagement, and you use AI to run the execution in the background, you are doing exactly what Jitro is built to do, just in business. This is not theory. This is already happening. And the people who figure out how to sell outcomes instead of hours are going to win. Here's the honest truth. I did not figure this out overnight. It took time, a lot of trial and error. But the moment I stopped selling tasks and started selling results, everything changed. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, okay, but how do I actually turn this into income? That is exactly what the AI Syndicate protocol is built for. It breaks down the systems, the offers, and the workflows businesses are already paying for. The link is in the description. Now, timing matters here. Google I/O 2026 kicks off May 19th. This is where Google is expected to push agent-based AI even further. Most people haven't even heard of Jitro yet. You're early, and early matters. So here's what you do. Start thinking in outcomes, not tasks. Pay attention when this drops. And start building systems, not prompts. Because the people who win in this shift are not the smartest. They're the ones who move first. If you're serious, grab the AI Syndicate protocol. Drop a comment, what would you have AI run for you? And I'll see you in the next one.